be educated, informed, and entertained. It's content creation. And so some come in form of text, which is a blog, a newspaper that we read. Some come in form of audio.
Okay, so for those of us who do more text,
yes, it's content creation.
Text
Content
creation.
Yes, and those who do audio only, which is the radio, this is content
creation.
Those who do podcast audio only, it's also content. Those who do visuals, that is television, film, or audio visual, it's also content.
So it's
creation.
very broad.
Yes.
But today's discussion is on digital content creators, those on social media, online.
So those who are using the digital platforms to create content in forms of blog, audio visual, who we term as content creators.
All right.
Digital content creators.
All right.
Because they are using the digital platforms.
Yeah.
Via YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, all the platforms are digital content creators.
Okay, let me come to you, Jeffrey. What do you think about first when you are creating content for online or social media, whatever? Is it the views that you get, or maybe your social and cultural environment?
Yeah, impact first, but we can't run away from it. We all want the views. Yes, you can't create a content.
Yeah,
think through it, call the night, work so hard, wake up in the morning, and then 5-10 views. The views, they encourage you. The more the views, the more we know that your content
it's going.
Yes, regardless, impact is more important.
I've seen you do a number of things or stuff, content on drug abuse, tramadol. I've seen some skits like that. Galamsey.
Yeah.
If you compare the skits that you've done, the content you've created on some of these socio-cultural stuff, to the other ones that are merely for entertainment, you compare the views. Which ones give you more views?
A lot of people want to be happy. A lot of people want to laugh. A lot of people pick their phones not because they want to be informed.
Good.
They take it because, Charlie, I'm bored. I just want to laugh and have some cool time. So obviously, as compared to the skits that are impacting or informing, you can't actually battle with it. The entertaining ones who and also the one that is entertaining is entertaining both Ghanaians and people beyond the shores of Ghana.
Right.
But if I'm talking about Galamsey at a particular time, all traditional media platforms are talking about Galamsey. It has got nothing to do with the Nigerian at that material moment. So you don't expect it
so
to.
So the Ghanaian can relate more than any
yes
other
at that
person.
time.
That time.
Yes.
Okay, that's good explanation. And we have content on entertainment. We say that the comedy, the lifestyle, education, activism, and other things. You did stuff on Galamsey, drug abuse. Did you see impact from that?
Yes.
The work you did. Did you see
great
impact?
Great impact. And I believe that with this craft, I can contribute to decision making.
Wow.
Yes. I've got numbers. What am I using the numbers for?
Yeah, you have numbers.
So, and sometimes people follow you because they believe that whatever you say is right. We are waiting for you to speak. Yeah. There are some people who are not knowledgeable about certain things. Let me just wait for J&J to speak. Whatever he's going to say. Let me just wait for Shatter to speak. Whatever he's going to say.
Waiting for your opinion.
So, I don't just do all these things. I do my research.
Wow.
Yes, before putting all these things out there. So, if I don't contribute to matters like this, I wasn't born to make people laugh, Keke.
Okay, Joy 99.7 FM. So we're talking about content creation. online social media and how they also shape socio-cultural development. I'm here with Uncle Ken, Jeffrey Norte, Nanaya Radio, and we have Kobichi as well. He's online journalist. He's been doing a number of things regarding everything content creation, and he is moving stuff in that direction. Now, Nanaya Radio. So when we say content is culturally and socially valuable, what does it mean? Content that is socially, culturally valuable.
I think we are referring to content that contributes to the growth of either community engagement, value, mindset shifting, or positive impact on people, right?
Yeah.
And so that is what we mean by content that is socially, culturally, valuable.
Yeah.
Things that contribute positively, like language, teaching people how to understand the language, the culture, the heritage of Ghana. Like Jeffrey was trying to say earlier, some of the content that they create, there's a lot of education, more than what people learn in the classroom. And so by that, they are contributing socially and culturally to the, to the country. If you take somebody like Woody Meyer, the kind of content he does by showing the beautiful parts of Africa or Ghana, that is a huge form of education and entertainment you will never get in the classroom. Okay, most people who learn tourism learn the theory part of tourism. The content creators do the practical part of tourism, and so they have more impact on people than just anybody else. Okay, when you look at the dance industry, for instance, they have contributed a lot to society. Look at what happened in COVID. Back in the day, parents hardly would give opportunity for their children to dance in front of them. You know the perception game. They say he who controls perception controls the world. And so the perception about the arts and culture in the country was that you are wasting your time, you don't have anything to do, nothing will come out of it. In the interview, Jeffrey said that the mother calls him audition, because the mother at the time was teasing, right? Yeah. But look at what happened after COVID. The number of impact the TikTok platform gave a lot of young kids in their homes. Some lives were changed forever. Some young boys and girls who have access to mobile phone, even the least of tech mobile phones, are able to change their lives forever. All right, and they just don't dance. They are able to take kids out of the streets. They are able to impact. Some of them are using the dance as extra curriculum activities. So after school, they have to go for a dance rehearsal, and so they are excited to go to school because they know once they are done with school, they have the chance to go and do what they love. They dance. Okay. When it comes to those who are doing the blogging, for instance, the type of content they send outside the outside world about Ghana is huge. So they also contribute culturally. They show the world how we do our things in Ghana in terms of entertainment. Our nightlife culture, for instance. I mean, the GTA is pushing the nightlife. GTDC is pushing the Accra nightlife. Yeah. So these guys take their phones, they go there, they film, and they share it across. And it's a borderless, how do you call it, environment now, or society now. So anybody sees it, and they are able to know what's happening in Ghana. It forms top of mind awareness. People are attracted to come to Ghana and see what we do here. So they contribute a lot to the country.
Before I come to Kobichi, let me go to Uncle Ken. Now, Uncle Ken, so we live in modern times where people are working online. They are on social media. They are putting content there. That is their source of livelihood. They need the views to make it. Is it not too much of a burden for us to tell them to do socially, culturally valuable content? Are we not overburdening them, if I should ask?
So what do you want them to do? You want them to stick to entertainment?
I'm asking.
You asked if we are we're going to be burdening them.
Yes.
If we ask them to diversify.
Yes.
And do other things.
Yes.
When Nanaya was talking, he included traditional media, even in
the
digital. Because nowadays
we also use
your show as you're doing now is on social media. Digital and attracting audiences worldwide. for what you're doing. It's a beautiful thing, content creation, digital content creation. But the point is, if we in Africa or in Ghana, let me zero in on Ghana.
Yes.
If we in Ghana think that the only way we can utilize this space is by being entertaining and being offensive as well. That is very critical. The offensive nature of coming out to so-called entertain people is where my problem is.
Great.
Because this industry can be used and we will gain a lot more as a society from it than we have ever gained from the past.
Yeah.
If we utilize it properly. Because what is it supposed to do? You get marketing, for instance, and some people utilize it to market their products.
Sure.
To promote products or services.
Yeah.
Which I think, me for instance, let me tell you the truth. The last time, Kwame,
Yeah.
I walked into a physical shop to buy a shirt or pair of shoes, I can't remember, because over the past 10 or so years I've been relying on online
Okay.
shopping,
All right.
and most of them have been so good, so it has limited my walking into shops to buy
Sure.
stuff.
Sure.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I think that that's positive, cuts down man hours, and traffic and unnecessary, hiccups here and there as you go to look for what you want. In education, we have this platform to inform and create knowledge on various things. We have customer support. You can support customers through digital content. I follow somebody like Sweet Ajele. You mentioned
the cook.
Wodemaya.
Yeah, Wodemaya.
The cook.
Yes.
Yes.
I follow Sweet Ajele because I just love the way she introduces new menus to me and my household. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think that's very educative and very informative, and it is the way to go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not on TikTok.
Please, let's create a TikTok account for Uncle Ken.
Wait.
Okay, sorry.
And I don't want to be on TikTok. For the simple reason that the feedback I get from the general public about what happens on TikTok is not desirable, if you ask me. Okay? But I was reading about content creation as your producer sent me the topic for discussion today. And I was surprised that the Rolling Stone magazine, for instance, conducts a yearly, for the past 2 years I've started conducting a yearly awards scheme for content creators.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that there are 25 awards, they name content creators, 25 of them. And I was surprised that out of the 25, about 20 were TikTokers.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, hey, so am I losing out on
You are losing out.
But why am I losing out? The reason I'm losing out is that in my own country, the TikTok platform has been used so badly that the message coming out to the general public is that platform is deadly. Don't go there.
True.
Hence, I have not been there. And yet I read about these things, and there are people on there with huge numbers and making huge. There's a Nigerian American guy on TikTok.
Okay.
Who does fashion. And he was creating fashion in a very unusual way on TikTok, grew his numbers, and right now Vogue magazine has voted him the topmost fashion guru on TikTok, and he's getting deals from the established designers, in the world to run. Now this is positive.
Very positive.
But here we want to show bodily parts
and insult people.
And that is why I think that these young men, I'm glad Kobe is here.
Yeah.
Nana is here.
Jeffrey too.
These people are all here. They are the people who shape. Kobe will never put out nonsense on his page. He's always there to put out that you post positive stuff about people. You promote people on your pages, Kwame. That is something you do, and nobody pays you for it. You do it free of charge.
Nobody.
They want to come and buy you a beer. That's a different matter. But that is what you do. And you educate people like us about what's happening. I wake up in the morning, I see your post, and Kwame is talking about this new artist, this lady artist releasing this, releasing that. Sometimes you delve into politics too, and you get slaughtered by the nincompoops.
Politics is good.
on the streets, If you follow the nincompoops on the streets, like Note was saying, you might get worried and stop doing what you are doing.
Yeah.
But Kwame, I think that the positivity about the platforms that are available to content creators is huge. And we as a people in this country must learn to use it positively to our advantage.
Thank you very much, Uncle Ken. Joy 99.7 FM. We're having a conversation on content creators, those who ply their trade on social media online, and the role they have in shaping our social cultural environment in Ghana. And I have Uncle Ken, Jeffrey Naughty, Nanaya Radio, and Kobe Chi. Hello, Kobe.
Mr. Dadzie.
Long time.
Yes. Thank you. Super humble to be here. And,
how have you been?
Good. I've been busy.
I could see, because I've been seeing busy. All the things you've been doing.
I've been super busy.
Yeah. Okay, so today we are talking about what you do most, content creation on social media, online platforms. And Uncle Ken mentioned that the reason he's not joining TikTok, for example, is what he has heard about the negative thing that happened over there, like insulting people and all that. Apart from maybe the insults, which other vices do some people use on social media that is unpalatable for the typical Ghanaian person, if you like?
Did you say like apart from the insults?
I want us to list more of that. So we have the insults that he mentioned. There are other things that possibly would make somebody not want to associate with content created by maybe Ghanaians or some Ghanaians on social media. Apart from the insults, what are some of the negative things that some people on social media as content creators also put out there?
This is a tight question because generally you see a lot of people going on TikTok, and anytime you see videos trend and you see them attacking each other. And so mostly it has got to do with the fact that they usually want to attack themselves on TikTok. However, one of the key things I've also noticed on that platform, especially in our jurisdiction, is that most of the content are not uplifting, because anytime as a content creator or as a social media user, you need to always have it at the back of your mind that your numbers are your community. You understand? And so you need to change the narrative by using your community in putting out stuff that are very, impactful, very positive. I've had, this conversation with my team every now and then, and I tell myself that when TikTok was coming to Ghana, or Facebook or X, I think that we have a ministry where they can actually sit them down to say that these are our values and our culture as Ghanaians. And so if you are coming to Ghana to actually make your app accessible to everyone, these are our guidelines, these are our policies. Because there are some countries, they try to limit it. Because when you are signing up, they'll ask you your age, your country, all these questions. So it means that the system has the database of every Ghanaian who is signed on that platform. Yeah. So what is the bigger conversation that our authorities are having with the owners of TikTok? Just like the back and forth what happened between America and the owners, which is the Chinese. And even in China, the owners, I'm told that they have certain limits to what extent some of the content that you can post. So my problem, and this perception with Uncle, it's not just about him. A lot of people have the same perception out there because they feel that anytime they jump on TikTok, the things that are trending there are not uplifting. So what are the authorities? And that should be the bigger picture of this conversation. Sure. The bigger picture should be that authorities should sit down with the owners of this app to tell them that you are coming into our jurisdiction. What are some of the things that you think that can help the ordinary Ghanaian child or user of social media? And I don't think that our people do that on Facebook. So what they have to do is that, what can we do? Check the algorithm to uplift those who are doing beautiful content, and then mute the people who are pushing disturbing content.
Kwame,
we were yet to go there, but once Kobe is there, we will stay there for a while. You want to chip in something?
Okay. Kobe, I'm glad you raised this aspect. very sore point. We in this country cannot control what goes on in our own country, on television, on radio, and stuff like that. And your worry is about us controlling
digital media.
That is why I lose hope, all hope. because
you think it's going to be very difficult.
Look, in our country, go on the not the
TV station.
The digital TV stations.
Yes, lotto numbers.
Thank you. But what is it you're getting there?
Is it not worrying?
Exactly.
Is it not something that we should work at?
And that's what I'm saying. We have not been able to work at that. We've been talking for so many years about what we consume from these digital platforms, and yet nothing is done about it. So when Kobe extends it to the
digital media,
yes, to TikTok and others, that's why I tell Kobe, media, if we can't do our own, how can we cross over to that spot?
Okay, we will come back to this one. It's the crux of the whole conversation.
I just want to do a little add-on.
Okay.
With Uncle Ken and Kobe's on. You see, I'm a content creator.
Yeah.
I have done it for so many years.
Yeah.
What is happening now is not entirely new. Give me 2 minutes. Let me paint a picture. So in the days where traditional media was the thing, there were platforms like PMP and Ebony. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah.
The impact they had on young people was huge, with regards to what they are what they were pushing out or what they were selling to people. Especially with PMP, they were doing a lot of weird stories. I don't know if you guys know this foreign television guy. He's dead, Jeffrey Springer. Not Jeffrey.
Springer. Okay.
Jeffrey Springer.
Right.
Do you know how he became number one? Jeffrey became number one because he was a proper news anchor who was producing for a television network proper news, but he wasn't getting ratings. And so the TV network said, let's find somebody who can create something new for Jeffrey. And then they found one guy who was an editor for one of the newspapers, was it New York Times or something, who does very weird stories. He came in and changed the entire production direction of Jeffrey Springer's show. And that's how it became one. That's how all these weird things about a man marrying a horse became a thing. People started falling in love with those weird conversations, right? Now, when you bring it to a digital age, TikTok is not all that bad. Now, the media has now become interest media than social media. Let me explain. Before TikTok hits us, it was a social media network, which is a circle of friends a friends community. So friend of friend or friends of inner circle as well.
Like Facebook, yeah.
See what you see, like Facebook.
Okay.
Then TikTok broke the rules and brought interest first than social. So anybody can see what anybody else is doing at any point in time without necessarily being in the same circle with the person.
Okay.
So that became an interest driven.
Okay. Because with Facebook you need to be friends
Yes,
with the
before you
person.
can see.
Okay.
But now it has become an interest driven. You can control your page by tuning the algorithm. For instance, on my TikTok, I have no idea people fight in this TikTok in Ghana.
Okay.
Until somebody pointed out to me that why am I always seeing this TikTok thing? I think I was talking to a bunch of school kids recently, and their teacher was complaining about how they come to school and do certain TikTok trends and everything. And I told her that, listen, the trends are not bad.
Yeah.
You can tune the algorithm.
True.
By changing your interest that you follow.
True.
And so now, if Kwame has posted, like Uncle Ken said, a video about a young guy, Kobe has shared Boys Life Matter, and I like Boys Life Matter, and I like Kwame's post. The algorithm now sees that these are the things I want to focus on. So it gets to recommend more of that. In the issue where you see conversations on TikTok that is not in alignment with what you like, all you have to do is go to the 3 or the 4 dots and mute that comment. When you mute that post, it tells the algorithm that I don't want to see things like this anymore, and it switches it for you. Now, something about Kobe talking about we controlling what these people do. It's very true. There was a time where a Kumewood film producer was saying that if the government of Ghana could bring the YouTube office to Ghana, and people were laughing at the man, and I said, you guys don't understand what is happening. Do you guys remember that Joy Multimedia had what we call mypaddies.com?
Yeah,
mypaddies.com. If mypaddies.com was probably managed well, that could have solved the issue of what Kobe is saying, because the government knows where or who owns mypaddies.com, because they have an office here in Accra. It's like Kukumemle. They can just walk in and say, hey, guys at mypaddies.com, what are you guys doing to control this influx of unnecessary content that we are seeing? If you go to China, my boss goes to China a lot, right? And there was a day we were talking in China, and he said, oh, the WhatsApp line will not be too clear because there's a certain app that people use to communicate more easily. It's the same for Dubai. If you're in Dubai, WhatsApp does not really work unless you use the other app. Is it Bitom or whatever they call it, right? This same TikTok, the Chinese, because they have an office there, are able to call whoever runs the business to say, what are you showing the kids? What are we using your platform for? Mark Zuckerberg is in trouble because the US Parliament, the Congress, called him and said, you use your platform to aid somebody to win an election.
Yeah.
You have to come and defend that. And also, we need to understand why you are buying every other social platform that is coming up. Do you want to become a monopoly in the business? So we are going to try and fight that. So if there was an office or if there's an office or a representative here in the country, some of these things can be solved. And it's true we cannot control everybody's interest. What is our work? Entertain, educate, and inform. Jeffrey can't do all the 3 every time.
Yes.
Also one of our biggest problems that we have is commercialization. You see, we are in a circle where, Uncle Ken, it has become winner takes all. Let me come to traditional media. The best show or the most talked about show gets the most ads. That's fact. Because commercialization has become the drug that killed impact or social impact networks or social impact activities. Commercialization. Because
so
the brand,
if the show talks rubbish half the time.
Yes, they get the ads.
They still get
the ads.
They still get them.
That is why.
Who is controlling that?
Yes.
That is
because the system has to be sanitized in a way that will benefit everybody. But Kobe, people have to make sales, right? People have to make sales. Companies have to sell to people, and so they look at who has the most numbers. How did we get to the level where followership and subscribers became the drug that you need,
the yardstick to measure,
to feed yourself, because of commercialization? So we can talk about it, but the root of it is commercialization.
Nanaya, I'll come back to you.
I want to say something.
I'm coming to Jeffrey.
So people have to make sales. I actually wanted to talk about I don't want to see this post. That's how I tagged it.
Yeah.
The interest.
Yeah,
of
the
people.
interest media.
I said people have to make sales. You understand? And Kobe said, "How did we get there?" You see, we can't control it. The attitude you want to see everybody putting out there, or the attitude you want to see to be perpetuated, you have to bake that attitude up. You understand? We can control what they see. Now, if you wake up in the morning and we are showing you tea, you don't like tea. Tomorrow we are showing you tea, you don't like tea. The third time we show you tea, you're not a fan of tea. Fact. Because the human being is wider. If you see it for the third time, it sticks there. Now,
why am I being bombarded
Yes.
with tea if it is not good for me?
Yeah.
why you?
No, I'm saying, yeah.
No, he's saying it.
He's supporting what you
In
said.
support of what you're saying, that the human brain thinks along those lines. I don't like it. I've seen it once. I don't like it. I've seen it twice. I don't like it. I see it a third time.
Yeah.
Then I ask myself the question, why am I not liking it?
Exactly.
If everybody else is liking it.
Now, interest,
Yeah.
TikTok. I don't like this, so I don't want to see it. You see it. If you don't see it on TikTok, you see it somewhere. You see a blogger, a site, posting it. Now there's a cycle. To become popular, let me do what the popular person did to become popular.
Let me follow the crowd.
So if Kobe is having that platform, he's having the numbers, and I follow Kobe. Today Kobe is posting about the government's doing this. Tomorrow Kobe is posting about this semi-made content creator putting this out there. To get on his platform, this is what I have to do. So one way or the other, he as a blogger is contributing to what people see. Because Charlie, currently a lot of people want to become famous, and it's cheap. It's very easy to become famous now.
No, it's not easy.
The commercialization point that
No, it's not easy to become famous.
Nana,
Easy.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
No. Okay, 1 minute. Let me add up to what Jeffrey said.
Okay, quickly.
You see,
1 minute, then we
the thing about what Kobe posted that you also want to do same, it's the reason why we are where we are. And like I'm saying, the root of it, I don't want to say corporate companies, corporate bodies, but it is about how you take care of it, how you feed. Now, I want to be like Kobe Che, but I'm looking at how many times Kobe is getting ambassadorial deals and how he's taking care of himself against what this other person is doing with Aboniki Fetrikeke, Aboniki Fetrikeke, and out of that, everybody's running to him. The artists are running to the boy. The corporate bodies are giving him products to exhibit. Everybody's going to him. Now, I really love Kobe. Kobe is doing the education part of the tree.
The human interest stories.
Yes, that's the human interest stories. But interests are relative. What interests me will not interest Jeffrey Notte. And to become number one, you need to be destructive. And to be destructive is not easy, bro. Don't let us underestimate the people who have worked hard. For him to stand out, he alone has 3 characters. To become who he has become has taken a lot of years and work, consistency, like he said in his interview. And so somebody who sees that, who wants to become that, has to also put in equal or above Jeffrey to become better or like Jeffrey.
Okay.
And so to become famous is not cheap. I think I was talking to a group of young dancers in February, and I was teaching them how to maximize or monetize their social media. And I said that, who is their biggest inspiration? And they mentioned Afronita and they mentioned Endurance. And I said that, do you know that in a month, these 2 girls, you mentioned their names, post not less than 30 to 50 videos of them dancing consistently every time. And they were like, wow. I'm like, you can go and check. They start trends, they join trends, they amplify trends. And so to start a trend means that you have to be disruptive. Do you get it? We all want to see the good part of social media, but unfortunately we are not going to get that, because the platform itself has conditioned people to be destructive enough to stand out, to get us to play on their
Can't
videos
we
to
be
cash out.
disruptive in a positive, in a progressive way?
Bro, you ask Jeffrey Notte. I watch his Galamsey video. Let's be sincere. Let's do some revenue analysis on the app itself. So which app pays you more? So Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Which one?
YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you know that the new YouTube algorithm makes you work harder than you were doing 4 or 5 years ago, and they still pay you 0 point something peanuts out of every, let's say, 1,000 views. So if Jeffrey is going to do the Galamsey videos, and let's say he doesn't have any support system, his whole support system is the YouTube financing that comes in every month. How much is he going to cash out from YouTube to produce quality, to stay positive and keep doing that activity? He needs external support. So if he amasses 20,000 views, it will be better for corporate Ghana to have moved from following the winner takes all to impact social content creators. To say that you don't have the bigger number, but you are impacting. We can literally sell through you or with you. So it doesn't matter that you are getting less than 100,000 views on your YouTube. We are willing to put a commercial of, let's say, every month, a retainer of every month, 10,000 cedis. Then Jeffrey knows that if I stay on the path of creating impactful content, I am able to help this company make some additional sales. So he's okay. But that's not what's happening right now.
Exactly.
What's happening right now is that if Kwame doesn't get a call to go to South Africa to go and do a conference or become the official blogger covering a social impact event, how many corporate bodies, let's be sincere, calls him and say, bro, I mean, let's take Boys Life Matter.
No, you are right.
Let's take Boys Life Matter for instance. Okay. And let's do some simple analysis.
Okay.
How many corporate bodies have called him and say, hey, bro, we are.
He's here. Let's ask him.
Our CEO is. It's not happening.
No, let me answer.
I think even before Boys Lives Matter, yes. You remember my respect for zebra crossing.
Yeah, zebra crossing.
Yeah. This was a huge impact that I was literally picking up somebody's responsibility.
Yeah.
Because I believe in human impactful stories. Exactly.
Yeah.
Guess what?
For that matter,
the institutions in Ghana never responded to me.
It
took only the Norwegian embassy, the Norwegian ambassador, to give me funding to construct zebra crossing for schools.
Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you.
So
Boys Lives Matter, we have social welfare, we have Ministry of Gender. Look at the impact. I started weeks ago, and look at the impact on social media. I changed a boy called Solomon Aguru's destiny.
Yes.
And they're equally the same guys on the streets. And just like what he's saying, we need to change the narrative of now changing the mindset, because corporate bodies are supposed to, invest in what some of us are doing, but it becomes very sad. So something, what I always used to encourage myself is that I just want to leave a digital footprint that generations will come to appreciate.
Sure.
Because and how many people also have this mindset? How many people? No, of course we are going to have. The money,
the mindset, the energy, the patience, the resolve,
trusting the process,
doing it over and over again.
Patriotism.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I keep saying, and this is where I stand. You are not going to be known for the Benz that you bought in 2025. So the ecosystem must support the people who are ready to change the narrative.
Yeah. Kobe.
Yes.
I think we should have. I stand to be corrected, but sometimes I believe in. If persuasion fails, I think we should have a team, an online team.
Yeah.
More like you for come through, give them kind of like team. So when they see Kobe doing something, it's a by force thing. We are tagging you. Come through for this person. You have to be part of this, and these people should have influence.
I think they have an online and a bloggers association of a sort.
Yeah, they have,
and they've been making some inroads.
They have a new media.
I don't know the focus.
It's loud.
I don't know the focus, but I've seen them engage some people in government.
So Kwame, more education, right?
Yes.
Let me speak as a.
I'll come back to you. Let me take something from Jeffrey. Jeffrey. So we're talking about. You are an entertainer, so how do you make sure that you entertain, you impact society, you disrupt the system, but you don't go in the offensive way against society? How do you make sure you blend all these to strike that balance?
Sure.
You've been doing it.
It's a craft. Yeah, it's a craft. Okay. But one way or the other, you might step on toes. Yes. It's not your fault. You understand? At first, I wanted to please everybody. This one says, "Oh, I didn't like your skit. But this thing where you talk, where I'm like, okay." Then the next one I'm about to do, he said I said this. I shouldn't say this. Like, no.
No, but are the things they're complaining about socially and culturally offensive?
You see,
If they are individual or personal,
a collective people will make the
no,
society.
but there are norms that we all know. This is not acceptable. Maybe insult and all that. If it's not insulting and it's their personal feelings, I think that can be pardoned, if you like.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. So, well, as a content creator, all these things, Charlie, you have to factor them. So, I mean, you have to know how to use the craft to, preach in all these areas without see, I work with visual, so yes, sorry, I was distracted here. Yes, so you should know how to use the craft to should I say satisfy all these areas without going against the social whatever. Asemo, you see the Galamsey thing I did?
Yeah.
A lot of people tagged me. They say what somewhere like he be MPP boy, he be NDC boy. Why you not do them this time? Why are you doing it this time? Election time. Why are you doing? But I'm actually not looking at that. I'm looking at the matter on. Yeah,
they had issues.
Yeah, issues. Yeah. Look, I have a skit with what's this guy's name? The guy that does the food content.
Is a
SDK.
Guy? SDK. Okay.
The president and his chief advisor is a very dangerous skit. It's a very, very dangerous skit. And I go like, this skit, my kids will come and understand. It's a president and his chief advisor. The chief advisor doesn't look okay. Looks like he's quite disabled. But he's the one actually advising the president. Yo, we'll go through them. But regardless, the content must go out there. Look, everybody must contribute to it. Be it traditional media, be it social media, everybody. Now, if I'm sitting down here and you're asking me questions, it's because I know my craft. Now, somebody could replace me. Once again, one content creator be where you don't really know the craft could be here, and you be projecting the person. I don't think we should leave the government out of this. They have a role to play in this.
A big role.
We should have something we are pushing.
A big
an agenda
role.
we are actually pushing.
Yeah.
Just to support what he's saying, I think that the whole ecosystem don't have direction. Ghana as a country don't have a direction in terms of the content creation space. Even apart from that, the whole country don't have a national development plan. A country that does not have a national development plan, it means that those even beneath, under it, the various disciplines will not even follow any
leadership by example.
Leadership, exactly. There's no direction. Because I ask myself, we always wait for the thing to flood the system before we wake up to think that we need to change the narrative. As we speak now, ask yourself why social media and the digital content and creation space is not even introduced in our syllabus, the curriculum. Because we are building a generation where the children will come and understand the rudiments of social media, content creation. How is the government, the educational
education ministry,
what are they even doing? So this is a big conversation that we need to have. And
they have a subject called ICT or something.
Yeah, they have
like
ICT.
That.
It's limited.
Kwame is smiling.
You draw mouse and computer.
Jeffrey said something, and I also want to revisit that.
Okay.
You don't blame the people because you feel that this is what they need. You as a media person need to change the narrative. We as content creators, you don't say that is what the people want. So when you go here, there's an interest. Because when I was young, those times when I used to listen to BBC, the producer will not come and do anything because there's a certain direction that they are focusing on. And Mr. Ken, I stand to be corrected. But these days, what do we see? So they need to, fasten our seatbelt to know that this is what we need to do as content creators. Either than that, the companies and the corporate bodies will go like, yo, these people have the numbers, let's go and give them. When you do that, you amplify, you amplify stupidity. How will you see somebody who is doing something uplifting?
And Kobe, as content creators, are you not doing this so you can get some rewards?
No, asking money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So if that is the case, and the other people out there who are not doing what you are talking about are making money, do you think they will ever change?
That is why we need
the policy.
Yes, we need policymakers. We need to,
if you allow people to do what they
exactly
want,
just because of money,
everybody will do anything.
Yes, but that is the system, Kwame.
So we need to change the system.
Okay, that's the system.
So we need to change the system.
Okay.
Because everybody just wake up and say that I'm a blogger, content, even though the space is open. You don't just leave the space because you need to control the system. Yeah. Either than that, we are going to produce a generation.
Media has no regulator as we speak.
Yes,
right.
Does it?
And Kwame,
we don't.
Even traditional media.
Yeah.
We have a broadcasting law that binds on.
And Uncle Ken said it. Even the traditional media,
yes,
you see people who have TV stations that we can't even control.
Exactly.
How much more the digital space?
Yeah.
And when you talk
and this is something. This is a big conversation.
When you talk about controlling things, they think you can't do it. What is popular affects the desires and the motives of people.
Of course.
It affects it. And if what Kobe is doing, if he's not being influenced low key, if he's not being supported, if he's not strong, one day he can just
he'll give up.
So Kwame.
and I think what we are not discouraging anybody from doing different types of content. You can do content about comedy, about education, about tourism,
but the direction should be impactful.
Exactly.
I follow.
It can be entertaining.
Yes.
Yet
exactly.
impactful.
Kwame, I follow a content creator on YouTube.
Okay.
Who has dedicated his time to teaching people over 40 how they can use AI effectively.
Yeah.
There are lots of such people.
And nobody is giving those people attention.
Yes.
The government is there, corporate institution, they are there.
Here, let me say something. The world is messed up now. I'm sorry. No, the world is messed up. There's a page on Instagram where ladies are farting. That's all they do.
Just to show.
Yeah, they just put the camera down and they just fart like that.
No, it sounds funny, but serious.
You should check the numbers.
Kwame, so I'm just here listening to your conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, do you know that one of them, one mandate of the Creative Arts Agency, is to regulate some of these creators.
Yeah.
By introducing licensing or registration.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just listening to the conversation. I'm smiling because we have a creative agency that can help us streamline.
Yeah.
And know who are supposed to be bloggers, who are supposed to be micro social bloggers and social influencers, who are supposed to be writers, who are supposed to be visual content creators, audio content creators. Yet, it's not being implemented.
Creative Art Agency. They don't have a board.
No, they're
not operational like that.
No, the policy that Kobe is.
The act is resting.
The policy that Kobe is asking for.
I get it.
Can easily be worked on if that's part of our ministry or whatever. This industry.
I agree with you.
It's active, right? But let's talk about.
There is Commission on Culture.
Yes.
There is a culture policy.
Which
is supposed to regulate the space.
Even the national media
policy.
It is there in writing.
But is it in place?
No, it's not.
Exactly.
Do you know the National Media Commission itself? I think
nothing is working. Absolutely nothing is working.
Even the traffic lights.
The cultural policy.
There's no direction.
Fashioned out in 2004 was not even used to, let's say, 10%.
Yeah.
A new one is being fashioned out. It's under review.
Yeah.
The old one wasn't used. We have a new one in the offing. How are we going to make sure it becomes functional? That's the question.
Kwame, you see, I have often said that Ghana, because I don't want to say Africa, Ghana.
Yeah.
We have a syndrome in account we say Suatra. Yes, Suatra. and I'm saying this because the internet has made the world a global village. when we see a certain direction, a certain narrative happening in a certain world, we don't take our time to learn the foundations of what caused the narrative to start. We just jump on it and we try to do more than the people who are doing it.
We are blacks. We exaggerate it.
Yes.
That's what we
do. And that's what it's costing us.
Yeah.
I will give an example. Even though the world has moved to interest media, and the whole world is trying to understand the whole interest media thing, I don't think Africans or Ghanaians, we are even close to social media, and then we jump from that to interest media. Right? Let me use Facebook as for example. Most old people are now finding out that WhatsApp is a social platform.
Yeah.
And now, most old people, let me use my parents for instance. I just bought my mom.
You can use me.
But you are tech savvy.
My mom, I just bought my mom a high tech phone, right? And so I put her on WhatsApp, and she's excited. She gets to see what is happening around her case and everything. So it tells you that the majority of people who we think in this country understand the digital or the internet usage don't. And so we are jumping too fast to get to the level where we are not supposed to be there. And that's what it's costing us right now. The corporate body does not understand what you're saying, because for them, let's be sincere.
Yeah.
How does a corporate, let's say if you are a CMO of Joy, and you are given a budget of 100,000 Ghana cedi to spend, your KPI is increase listenership by 40%. And so if you are giving that tax, are you telling me that you're going to come to Nanaya, who creates valuable content but has less followership and less views, that will contribute to your 40%? You won't do that. You find the people who you can leverage on to help you reach that KPI of 40% quickly. 2, every corporate body have what they are championing at every particular point in time. Is it revenue generation? Is it acquisition? It depends on what the company is working on. So Kobe can approach a company called Joy Industry or Joy 99.7, but at that particular point in time, Joy FM is not doing any conversations or any activations in the humanitarian space. They are on the level of acquisition or revenue generation, which is, if Joy is a mobile company, a telecom company, your job is to increase your users by 150%. And Kobe says that I'm doing a project for Boys Lives Matter, so come on it. It doesn't tally. So you have to find a way of telling that, oh bro, you have to wait a little while. When we are getting to that space, we will come to you. So for most corporate bodies, for what is happening in at the digital space, they are also learning. Okay. Now media buying has changed. Companies buy directly on YouTube than they were buying through media agencies, for airtime promotions and stuff like that. Now they buy directly on YouTube. They do the ads on X. They do directly on Facebook, and they see retention. They see conversion rate. They see possible conversion rate. If Jeffrey's video if my advert shows on Jeffrey Notte's video, I know that people are going to wait for the advert to play 5 seconds or 10 seconds before they skip, because they want to see Jeffrey Notte. Yeah. And they get the toma, they get the attention that they are looking for. So the dynamics are changing, and they themselves as corporate bodies, they are also now learning the space. Okay. That is why now they are also setting up private or in-house new media agencies to also learn the space and understand and know how to apply. Great. Do you get it?
Great. Joy 99.7. I hope you're enjoying the discussion right here. Content creation in Ghana. How do we make sure it affects social, cultural development? And I've been doing this with Kobe Che, Nanaya Redu, Ken Adi, and then Jeffrey Notte. Jeffrey Notte is coming up with an event, 3 Faces of Jeffrey Notte, next week Saturday at the National Theatre. Get your tickets now. *713*33*783# That's the code to get your tickets. 3 Faces of Jeffrey Norte at the National Theatre next week, Saturday. Still right here on Joy 99.7 Showbiz A to Z. My name is Kwame Dadzie. When we come back, we have a lot more to give you right here on your superstation, Joy. And Kobe is here. He has embarked on a number of projects. We'll be going through them as we touch on the other sides of the conversation right after this.
I'm not afraid to be different. I be loud and bold. I know they blend in.
Born from a vibrant culture, I did dance to the beat of my own drum. I'll be the vibe.
In a world where everybody will follow trends, I create them. I'll be trailblazer. And that's the one originality.
And when we raise a glass, it's a celebration of who we are. Crafted with flavorful African herbs and fruits to honor people. Enjoy your origin. Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18. Not recommended to pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Across Ghana, unsung heroes and heroines are defying the odds to change lives. The search for the next Joy News Impact Maker 2025 is over. Joy News, in partnership with McDan Foundation, empowering futures, building communities, announces the 10 finalists for this year's Impact Makers. From Kiseman in the Greater Accra region, Raymond Senyo Amezadu is shaping the future by engaging children in after-school programs, ensuring they have access to quality education. At the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra, Ekuya Sapon is a beacon of hope for children battling cancer, raising awareness and providing resources to improve their quality of life. Through the lens of photography, Geoffrey Kwame Buta empowers students with hearing disabilities in Tamale, giving them a voice and a platform to share their stories. Eric Bwedi Sampon from the Eastern region is recognized for improving educational infrastructure, accommodation for teachers, and providing access to potable water for the Atani Ata community. And in Wa, William Ayaba Akongbagbere has redefined education with a hybrid school system, creating an inclusive environment for children with special needs and diverse backgrounds. In the fight for mental health awareness, Osei Boateng is making waves in the Ashanti region with the Hunyame Wellness Program, providing crucial support and breaking the stigma around mental health. Portia Dumba from Jindabo in the Savannah region is hailed for empowering women to venture into shea butter production and high-quality cosmetics, fostering financial independence and sustainability. From Susiano in the Ahafo region, Bennett Asante Nkrumah believes that education should not be a privilege but a right, offering free schooling to needy students. Similarly, Daniel Nkrumah is bringing clean water to communities across Ghana with borehole outreach programs that are transforming lives. In Amasaman, Joseph Tete Afangbe is on a mission to promote hygiene awareness in schools and communities, ensuring health.
Kwame is cooking up the perfect multi-bet, ready to serve to all his friends and followers. He's using Betway's Bet Influencer, a new sports betting feature where he can make money just by sharing his codes. The more codes he shares, the more money he makes. Anyone can be a bet influencer. Another world first from Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway. Get way more.
Across Ghana, unsung heroes and heroines are defying the odds to change lives. The search for the next Joy News Impact Maker 2025 is over. Joy News, in partnership with McDan Foundation, empowering futures, building communities, announces the 10 finalists for this year's Impact Makers. From Kiseman in the Greater Accra region, Raymond Senyo Amezadu is shaping the future by engaging children in after-school programs, ensuring they have access to quality education. At the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra, Ekuya Sapon is a beacon of hope for children battling cancer, raising awareness and providing resources to improve their quality of life. Through the lens of photography, Geoffrey Kwame Buta empowers students with hearing disabilities in Tamale, giving them a voice and a platform to share their stories. Eric Bwedi Sampon from the Eastern region is recognized for improving educational infrastructure, accommodation for teachers, and providing access to potable water for the Atani Ata community. And in Wa, William Ayaba Akongbagbere has redefined education with a hybrid school system, creating an inclusive environment for children with special needs and diverse backgrounds. In the fight for mental health awareness, Osei Boateng is making waves in the Ashanti region with the Wuhunyame Wellness Program, providing crucial support and breaking the stigma around mental health. Portia Dumba from Jindabo in the Savannah region is hailed for empowering women to venture into shea butter production and high-quality cosmetics, fostering financial independence and sustainability. From Susiano in the Ahafo region, Bennett Asante Nkrumah believes that education should not be a privilege but a right, offering free schooling to needy students. Similarly, Daniel Nkrumah is bringing clean water to communities across Ghana with borehole outreach programs that are transforming lives. In Amasaman, Joseph Tete Afangbe is on a mission to promote hygiene awareness in schools and communities, ensuring healthier futures for the next generation. These Joy News impact makers are the 2025 change makers, the problem solvers, the everyday heroes and heroines, reshaping Ghana. The spotlight is on. This year's awards is brought to you by the Center for Strategic Philanthropy and Social Investment of the Pentecost University, unleashing transformational philanthropy, research, and innovation for community impact. Philanthropy Ghana, promoting and elevating philanthropy in Ghana. Gold Key Properties, transforming the landscape. MNC Group Global, totally reliant. German Ozone Medical Center, alternative therapy, dental wellness and beauty. And latest foam, your partner for life. Ghana CEO Summit, inspiring business leadership and economic transformation. Joy News Impact Makers Awards, celebrating ordinary people making extraordinary impact.
Hello, my name is Elom Sena, and I'm the brand and design specialist here at Hollard Ghana. Here at Hollard, we believe in partnering to deliver the triple win. A win for our partners, a win for our customers, and a win for us here at Hollard. We've had a great and amazing partner in Multimedia Group. Through their media channels and through their events, we've been able to spread insurance awareness across Ghana and spread insurance penetration. For 3 decades, you've been a trusted voice across Ghanaian homes, telling our stories, spreading our culture, and connecting people through Joy FM, Adom FM, Love FM, and all the amazing channels in your media portfolio. From all of us here at Hollard Ghana, we want to extend the warmest congratulations to the multimedia family on this amazing milestone of 30 years of broadcasting excellence and media innovation. We say, Ayiko.
And you're still right here on Joy 99.7 Showbiz A-Z. My name is Kwame Dadzie. Show brought to you by MTN everywhere you go. Superstar multi-fruit drink. And we're still in here with Uncle Ken, Nanaya Radio and Kobiche. Not forgetting my man, Jeffrey Norte. Jeffrey.
Sir,
I understand you have another assignment. So your final words before.
Yeah, right. So on 14th of June, National Theatre, 3 Faces with Jeffrey Norte, 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say a very big thank you to Farm Global and AVV Rice. Thank you so much for supporting me. I mean, if we're talking about corporate bodies, there's the right time to big them up. Thank you so much. And also, Charlie, the companies, whether they listen, whether they watch, go to the right people. Numbers doesn't mean impact.
Great.
You bab. The fact that 1.1 billion people watched it doesn't mean 1.1 billion people are going to subscribe to your product or buy it. So please, we will know how we go do and where you go catch far.
Thank you very much, my brother. That was Jeffrey Norte. He's actor, comedian, content creator. And today we're talking about content creation and how that affects socio-cultural development. Now this August, Adansi Travels is turning up the excitement as part of its 12 years of delivering unforgettable travel experiences. So get ready to see more, feel more, and explore some of the world's most exciting destinations, from fun-filled family adventures in Dubai to romantic getaways in Asia, thrilling escapes with friends in South Africa, or that long-awaited dream trip across Europe. It's not just travel, it's an experience you'll never forget. So call Adansi Travels now on 0595 500 817 or 0531 008 550. Call Adansi Travels now. You can also visit adansitravels.com to book your spot. Let's make memories together this August. Adansi at 12. See more, feel more. Attention Ghana, the Green Revolution is here from 11th to 13th June 2025. The Accra International Conference Center comes alive with Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025, the nation's premier showcase of fruits, vegetables, technology, and export opportunities. Organized by the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters in collaboration with the Ghana Export Promotion Authority and proudly supported by Ghana Exim Bank, Fidelity Bank, GIRSAL, Agramonte, and GIZ, with Joy Business as the official media partner. This is your gateway to innovation, trade, and partnerships. And the highlight, the keynote address will be delivered by His Excellency, the President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. Book your exhibition stands or register now, www.ghanaHortiExpo.com, or you can call 0243457783 or 053 5224555. Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025. Growing Ghana, exporting excellence. Now let me tell you about the Emmy Africa Expo. Yeah, it's back. And it's bigger, bolder, and better. So this is your official invitation to be part of the second edition of the Emmy Africa Expo, happening on June 19 to 22nd at the Accra International Conference Center. After a blockbuster debut with over 10,000 plus attendees, 100 plus exhibitors, and 20 industries represented, this year we are turning it up a notch higher. So whether you are in automotive, fashion, tech, real estate, health, finance, agribusiness, travel, lifestyle, or anything in between, this is your platform for visibility, networking, strategic partnerships, and media exposure that matters. Don't miss out. Register now at www.emmyafrica.com, or you can call 0202018870 or 0302-738-727 for more information. Emmy Africa 2025. Show up, stand out, scale up. Yellow Ghana. Exciting news for everyone looking to join the MTN family or grab an extra MTN SIM card. All MTN SIM cards are available for the incredible price of 10 Ghana cedis. Yes, 10 Ghana cedis. So head down to any MTN service center, Connect store, or your nearest authorized community shop to take advantage of this fantastic offer. Remember to purchase your new SIM card. Get connected. All you need to do is get your valid Ghana card. It's very simple, so don't buy your SIM card anywhere else for more than 10 Ghana cedis. What are you waiting for? Still right here on Joe 99.7 FM. In a moment, we'll be getting into the conversation again. Content creation, digital content creation in Ghana. How do we use that to effect social cultural change? In the meantime, though, do Do you want to win stunning fabrics from Woodin this Father's Day, or classy watches for your dad to elevate his look? How about a weekend stay at a plush hotel, or some refreshing product from Vitamilk? If your answers to all these are yes, then pay attention. Joy FM, Joy Prime, and Hit FM present My Father, My Hero, Fatherhood, a Deeper Connection. This year, we invite you to take a step away from the daily grind and treat your dad like the heroes they are. So here is what you need to do. Send a message to us on 05511119997. You can record a 30-second audio clip commending your dad. Tell us the heroic things he's done for you, and share with us via WhatsApp number 05511119997. We'll play your clips on air, and then we select top 5 entries to win exquisite fabrics from Woodin, a weekend stay at Lancaster Accra Hotel, some goodies from Vitamilk, classy watches from Caveman, a weekend stay at La Palm Beach Hotel, and many more. The Joy News Habitat Fair is coming back. The first clinic is right here with you. In every community, the skyline is dotted with uncompleted buildings, some at the foundation, others at lintel or roofing level. Each one tells a story, a dream, a home in the making, because home ownership remains one of humanity's greatest desires. So wherever you are on this journey, whether you are breaking ground, building up, or simply finishing your space, the EcoBag Joy News Habitat Fair is designed with you in mind. So join us from Friday, June 20 to Sunday, June 22nd at the Achimota Retail Center for the first clinic this year. Let me tell you about Betway. It's time to get rewarded as the next big sports betting influencer with Betway. Please bet and share your codes with friends, fans, and followers. If they place bets using your code, you earn 4% of their wager. It doesn't matter if it's a win or a loss. If they bet, you earn cash. And the more people that bet with your code, the more you earn. Start betting, sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer. Exclusive to Betway. And then tomorrow is a Sunday. We'll be bringing the Pentecost Hour with the chairman, Apostle Eric Nyameche, 1:30 p.m. on Joe 99.7 FM. Do stay tuned. All right, let's come back to the conversation. Digital content creators. What's their role in Ghana's social-cultural development? I have Kobiche in here. Uncle Ken is right here as well. Nanaya Ruredu. We will touch again on the government's role in policy making, partnerships. But let me get to Kobe. Kobe has a number of projects. He's done some in the past. There is one that he's embarking on now. Let's get to him. Take us through all the projects he's done so far, to what he's doing right now, and let's see how we can support, how government can support corporate institutions. Showbiz A to Z. Kobe.
Mr. Dadzie.
So you decided to chart this path. You said, okay, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. And you've been doing this ever since you stepped foot in this industry.
From inception.
You've done zebra crossing. You've done one for some school children. You've done one for sanitary pads.
Yes.
And a lot more. Tell us about all these. Maybe just give us an update or a rundown of the things you've done so far.
Thank you. So before we came to join the conversation, I was discussing with my big brothers here, and I was telling them that in as much as that we are just on social media, on the platform to possibly have the income to feed our family, drive the best of cars and, acquire all those mansions and everything. Aside that, individually, we've got to play our role as in being patriotic, in making sure that every role or every path that we are moving in our space, whether you're a radio presenter, whether you're an accountant, whatever institution that you belong or character you belong, you need to make sure that number one, your focus should be about impact, nothing else. And for me, that's my principle in life. If it's not about impact, I don't care about it. And for me, in the media space or the blogging space, like you mentioned, from inception, I've always cemented my grounds in making sure that everything that I put on my platform is uplifting. It has got to do with things that will change society, will change mindset. So a lot of my initiatives, I still have the Go There with Kobiche. Okay. So Go There with Kobiche, I move into rural communities. I barely stay in Accra. I move into rural communities with my team, and then we identify communities that don't have potable drinking water. Communities that have schools that are in a very bad state, that children are sitting on bare floor to study.
Wow.
Communities that you see children don't have uniforms. Communities that you find physically challenged children there who don't even have wheelchairs. And the bigger question is, in a country where we don't think about the vulnerable, a country where we don't think about children, in a country where we don't think about the water that people drink, we don't have a future. But what can I do in my own space to change the narrative or rewrite the story in making sure that people who have influence or people who have that enabling environment or that capacity, to come in to support? And to the glory of God, I say this humbly to the glory of God, that every time I touch a story, there's a solution. And so if you are showing some of the pictures,
you get results.
I get results. And I've come to accept, Kwame, that beyond me being an online journalist, I've come to accept that this is my calling. And I do it so effortless. So you might think that, perhaps Kwame is not driving the latest car. I'm not being, empowered. But the good thing is that I am transforming lives. And if I tell you the number of communities that through my initiatives, they have water to drink.
Wow.
I am not just even changing the direct beneficiary. I'm changing the generations to come. Just last 2 weeks, myself and DJ Mensa Foundation, a school in the central region, the whole of the junior high school, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, they sit on the floor to study. 2025. They sit on bare floor to write. I joined them, but we're all sitting on the floor. And the headmaster told me that if I put this story out and he will be sacked, he wants to leave that legacy. He was crying.
Wow.
If it wasn't because of Kobiche, who went to capture that story for DJ Mensa to come in or to their aid, as we speak, the children will be sleeping on the floor.
Wow.
Respect zebra crossing. I drive. At any time I hit the zebra crossing demarcations, the aged, school children, physically challenged, they find it very difficult to cross. And you see drivers, myself, I'll cross. And so that's it. One time just hits me that no, this is something you need to pick up. And I started the initiative, Respect Zebra Crossing. You saw it everywhere. I went to schools to educate them. I was on media tour. And the Norwegian embassy, the ambassador called me and said, Kobe, have you had any support, any financial support so far? I said, no. We've written letters upon letters. Corporate bodies, I wrote letters to them that even a lot of the corporate bodies, even in front of their offices, there are zebra crossing there. Faded, they don't respect it. How can we even repaint? Or it was through my initiative that I even came to realize that if you don't, as a driver, you don't stop for a pedestrian to cross, it's a big offense, just like you crossing a red light. And I didn't know. How are we enforcing? The embassy gave me money, identified some schools that don't have zebra crossing. We painted, and it is saving lives. Now, boys' lives matter.
Yes.
So
why boys?
Because there was too much of girls' lives.
Boys' lives matter.
So the whole thing is lopsided now in the favor of girls.
Yes. And so Kwame, I've literally done. If you go on my social media, if you are hearing my voice for the first time, just go and Google Kobiche in my impact project. I've done a lot. From sanitary part, I go to. There was a story that I went to do in the Greater Accra.
Yeah.
Menstrual hygiene. I went there, And the Okada drivers in the village, Okada drivers are sleeping with the girls in the school because they can't afford pad. So the Okada drivers with 20 cities, they will buy pad for them and they will sleep, and they've impregnated a lot of the girls. So I had to go and share it. And if you see the joy of just giving them one sanitary pad, Kwame, it will break your heart. Another school that you saw my story with medical.
Yeah.
Children, KG, I think KG 2 class 1. Yeah. The whole children. A lot they've developed spinal cord issues because they were always sitting on them. So how can you just dress from your house to school? You go to sit on blocks. It took medical to come in to intervene to change the narrative. So now boys' lives matter again.
Boys' lives matter.
People come to my DM, young boys. Kobe, I've been abused. My maid, when I was young, my maid was sleeping with me.
Wow.
My auntie was sleeping with me, my cousin. Because of that, it is haunting me emotionally, psychologically, mentally. I am not fit. Every opportunity that comes in our school growing up, it was always directed to the girls. But this whole topic, I don't want us to pitch it with that of girls. I want it to be a standalone conversation with regards to boys. Because we know the whole background of how 31st movement, 31st women movement, how girl child education, send your girl child to school, all those things. Because history, I was told that we're not giving a lot of the girls that enabling environment. However, one of the mistakes they did, as time was catching up, they failed to empower the young boy. Because if you are grooming the girl child, who are you grooming the girl child for? So I sat and I said, no. If you look in the space, boys are going through mentally. Now, as we speak now, currently, if you go into senior high schools, girls are even more than boys. If you go to the prisons, young boys are in prisons. And you saw a story that I've changed. It was big shout out to multimedia, Joy Prime.
Joy Prime, the interview you had with Rosling.
So I moved into the streets, Uncle, I moved into the streets of Accra to identify boys who are 13, 12 years, 10 years, 19, and I asked them, why are you on the street? It was just a few days that I even came to realize that as a parent, there's a clear difference between discipline and abuse. Most 99% of the boys you see on the street are suffering from like abusive parenting. I step out to watch football. Anytime I come, my parents will just be abusing me, so I run from the house. I step out to play with my friends, and I didn't go to school today, and because I didn't go to school, my parents tell me that I'm going to the farm for 1 month. So they had to run away. Now farming has become a punishment. So what are we doing to the boy child? How many times do you see boys coming on social media to share what they are going through? Even in our society, in our schools, in our churches. My daughter is 6. So I had this inscription, my shirt, Boys Lives Matter. And this girl just walked up to me and read. I said, Kendra, can you read? He said, yes, Daddy, Boys Lives Matter too. And I asked her, Kendra, do you understand? He said, yes. Last week in our school, all of us were talking. The teacher asked all the boys to kneel down, and the girls were sitting down. This is a 6-year-old girl interpreting exactly what I'm trying to preach about. So how are we not giving the boy child a voice? It was through this initiative that I identified the boy Solomon Akuguru.
Yeah. He's a June 3rd victim, right?
Victim. And for a boy, the incident happened when he was around 7 or 8 years. And the boy has been living on the street from that time because the mom died and the father also got burnt. So they had to take the dad in Boko, one of the villages. The boy has been on the street till now. How do we as a society, as government, as policymakers, how do we protect the children? I was on one platform and I think it was Joy Prime.
Yeah.
And I asked, Uncle here has been in the space for decades and over. Kwame, yourself, Nana Yao. On the floor of Parliament, I stand to correct it. Have you ever heard policymakers discussing the well-being and the welfare of the Ghanaian child? Today, we want to dedicate the floor of Parliament. Let's discuss the well-being of the ordinary Ghanaian child.
Great.
In Sunderland Park, as a country, we don't have one national playground for children, bridging the gap between even the rich and the poor. So the boys are just on the streets. So this had to just awaken my mindset to start this initiative. And it's not to pitch what the girls are enjoying already.
Sure.
But for us to bring our minds to the fact that the boys that we see on the streets will become the leaders tomorrow, will become husbands, will become men. What are we doing to change the narrative in making sure that we empower them mentally, physically, and not to abuse them?
I love that. This one says, greetings, Showbiz A-Z host Kwame. Okay, please tell Kobiche that concerning the digital content, why will he not approach Miss Honorable Jifa Abla Gomashi about it? Also concerning the desk for our pupils in the schools. Well done, but now I doubt if any headmaster will be penalized for letting the world know about the plight. That era is no more. Nisaki Shoko. All right. So Kobe, you've done so well, and I like the fact that you keep on doing what you're doing. But we need support. You need support. And so if you're listening, if you're a corporate body, if you are a government institution, whoever, and you are touched by what Kobe is doing, you can just extend that hand and then make sure that all that he's doing comes to fruition. Now, let's talk about this whole government policy thing. How do we make sure we press on the right quarters, the right institutions, to maybe bring out something more concrete, legislation or whatever, to sanitize our space, the online space in Ghana? Now, let me start with you. Daniel, is there something we can do out of the ordinary to make sure this happens?
Kwame, the last time we were talking about 120 days for the
yes, just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
Yes, I think I did mention that there are close to around 13 agencies under the Ministry of, now is it Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, or Ministry
Culture
of
and Creative Arts?
Culture and Creative Arts
keeps changing.
Yeah,
Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts.
Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, and all these agencies have stakeholders that they work with.
Yeah.
And they are also part of an ecosystem. And so if you're going to do anything about it, we need to work from the grassroots upwards.
Yeah.
Which is, let me take the NFA, National Film Authority, for instance. When they meet with their stakeholders, what do they discuss? The grassroots, what do they discuss? What do they tell the leaders that they really want?
Mm-hmm.
And if they tell them that they want finance, or they tell them that they should try and fix their well-being. So we need to look at it from that angle. For government, there are a lot of things that the government is dealing with. That is why the government has set up ministries to work within every sector. So if you take what Kobe is doing, it falls under a certain ministry. Gender, social welfare. And so they have to decide that the thing that Kobe is doing, does it fall within our jurisdiction? If it does, is it in line with our maybe quarterly KPI?
Okay.
Is it in line with our year KPI? Can we put it into our monthly activities?
Okay.
If it does, then we can have a conversation with him. Now, is he also not doing it in the area of raising awareness to shame us, or he's doing it genuinely to help people?
Okay, this is you getting into the minds of the institution.
Because if you're a government official and you are, I have done some work with government officials where it took me months to get a no answer, and I came to understand that, oh, this guy was actually doing. Let me tell you a story. So I was doing a project. I was just telling them right now in Pokwase. It's called Made by Youth. And Made by Youth is a platform that supports young people with extraordinary skills but are jobless, or nobody is talking about them. So last year we tried to reach out to a lot of governmental agencies to help us. It took us months and they all said no. Only for us to be told that we are doing so well, it's causing shame to a certain government agency. I kid you not. Yes. It's like the person, it's like that agency or the people who are supposed to do what we are doing are not functional. So you are
exposing.
But that's a poor mentality.
Yeah, but that is also the people who are sitting as gatekeepers.
Then they should do the right thing.
Exactly.
To fix it.
So for governments, they can do it. Listen, if you are the president today, and you have to find a way of raising money to keep the lights on, so that industries and companies and things can run, against you going to fix, let's say, 25 chair or tables and chairs for kids who don't have a place to sit and learn, which one will you deal with? So it's a matter of scale of preference. That is why the government has sub agencies or ministries that are supposed to help or solve all these things. Then it can also do other important things. So for the government, they can do what they can do, but the people who are working in the other ministries or the agencies are the ones that we are supposed to check what actually they are doing. Because if that doesn't happen, nothing gets solved.
I get you. There are countries where you cannot watch porn. You can access it, betting sites. What type of Emma?
Yes.
Yeah, in those countries, there's China.
Good.
There's China where it's difficult to even access certain platforms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is possible. It is feasible. It can
doable.
be done. It is doable.
It's Kwame.
But will it be done?
In my earlier submission, I said that even the government agencies, corporate bodies are now learning the new media. So it's going to take time. Do you know how old Ghana is?
Very old.
Ghana is not old. Ghana is like 60 something.
60, you know, when you're older.
No, you know how old America is. Do you know how old China is?
Comparatively, yes, I agree.
No, so I'm saying that these two countries, let's say America has gone through 200 years or close to 200 years.
But I don't think we should be giving that excuse, though.
No, it's not. Kwame, it's not an excuse. Listen, I'm saying that it's not an excuse. I'm saying that the understanding.
I get you.
Of what this new media is.
Yeah.
Against what is happening in other world. It's not the same here.
Okay.
Like if you travel, I travel, Kwame is traveling, you will see that you go to a country where social media is used differently. So different. It's so different that you ask yourself. Sometimes when I travel and I can't access my Facebook, and they say you are in a different location, so sometimes I have to even use a VPN or change my password, and I see.
So the feed is different.
Entirely different things. Yeah. We will get there. We are learning the space. No, we are learning. Kwame. Today.
When we graduate from learning?
No, today, Joy. Showbiz A-Z is discussing this.
We will say it again. We've been saying it and we will say it again.
So I think, am I coming or Uncle?
Let me come to Uncle first. Okay. Uncle, I know you are tired of this this whole thing.
Policymakers and government. I can see from his
can't we have a radical approach to this whole sanitization of our space? Can't we have that, Uncle Ken?
Kwame, we live in a country where we have so many laws, yet the laws do not work. Enforcement, when it comes to enforcement, the laws do not work. How can you do anything about the issue we are talking about without laws?
True.
Yet when we enact the laws, enforcement becomes a problem.
True.
Yeah. Look, Kobe, when Kobe was speaking, I was listening to Kobe and I said, hey, not too long ago, 5 or so years ago, the Kobiches, the Ameradebras were the people, the bloggers we spoke about and we revered and, assessed their content and all that because they were positive contents. All of a sudden, with the influx of these TikTokers and things like that, they've all been drowned. And you ask yourself, why? Why have such people who were making such meaningful impact to society been drowned by these TikTok? I'm not saying all TikTokers are bad. I've just given you examples of other places
some
where
do
TikTok
very good content
are being used to good effect. But let's ask the subjective question. What does it take to be a good influencer?
Have the numbers?
And having numbers. You that's the first thing you raised, Kwame. Having numbers. Positive numbers or negative numbers?
Good question.
How do we determine that?
It depends on the content. Yes.
Okay.
The content.
So the person who wants you to maybe market their products comes to your page, just see, okay, you have followers like this. They don't even maybe care about which people are.
No, they don't.
What content you are churning out.
No.
You just see, oh, okay. And Anaya Radio has 2 million followers on Facebook. So, yeah.
Labi, who just comes to expose her breast, has 25 million.
Uncle, let me just ask you.
So if it boiled down to who has the most, who would you go for?
That's the big question. That's a big question. But I'm always concerned about striking a balance, like what Kobiche is doing. It is not entertaining.
And I'm sorry if I mentioned the Fualabi and there's a Fualabi there. Who doesn't? Please forgive me. The name just came up. It just came up.
I asked the question. I posed the question to Jeffrey. I asked him how it can be entertaining, disruptive, impactful, and not offensive to society and cultural values. And I think if we're able to do that, maybe you can still be doing the positive stuff and get the attention. Is that not possible?
Kwame, if you do the positive stuff and you can get the attention,
yes,
then you are very, very good at what you do. Because it's also possible to be very positive and get attention. But it's as compared to somebody who is just doing something not too positive, and getting the attention. Do you get it? So if you can do it and you can get attention, why not?
It's somebody like Udemaya.
Yes, it's working with Woody.
It's working with him.
It's working with Kobe. Kobe
you're getting attention.
It's what.
Imagine that
there is a message right here says, "Boss, the age example is just an excuse." Yes, they're older than Ghana. However, if they didn't make the right choices to get the foundation right, build on to what it is today in their country, they wouldn't be referenced. Ghana is not even getting the basics right at almost 70.
That's the truth.
I said D for Dabeng.
Kwame, he's right. I'm just not being positive. I'm being realistic. Listen, listen, it will come.
Okay.
Because Nanaya, okay, let me use me as an example. I have been through all the phases of this. I've been a publisher for a newspaper. I was running a newspaper. I have been an online freelance writer. I've been a blogger, as in sharing opinion pieces, vlogger. Now I do content production. It will come. Listen, we are learning and we are learning fast. Even though those of us who are doing what we claim to be positive or what we claim to be educational are not many. We are impacting on a generation coming that will see that I can be positive and still be entertaining. And people are learning. Now, when you go to certain schools, people are not just using social media. People are using social media to teach in classes now. You see videos of teachers who go for national service using new media to change the lives of kids and all those things. It will happen.
Games.
Yes, it will happen. I remember when I used to tell my dad that internet was going to change everything that everybody did as in the early 90s. He was doubting me. Today, it's here. It will happen. There will be a huge transformation in the space that you will not even remember that we once sat here and discussed.
I agree, but we need to expedite.
It will come in. Ghana has bigger problems.
We need to expedite.
Today we are coming to pay one city on
Kobe, you are somebody who has done all these great stuff, and you're still visible. People still know you.
Of course,
you are doing great.
Sometimes
you are invited to conferences and other places.
Kobe should be bigger.
How have you been able to do that? How have you been able to do that? 1 minute.
1 minute.
Yes.
So consistency.
Okay.
And I'm sure you can attest to that.
Great. Yeah.
Uncle Ken and Nanaya. I remember Xylophone and all the platforms, even on Facebook, industry people will come at me. Remember, they'll come at me to say that you want to do positivity and you know the direction. But what actually did the magic for me was that I was able to identify a niche.
Okay.
And I stayed true to my craft.
That's it.
I stayed true to myself and my values. and what I believe in. And so if you want to go into a certain direction, which you're going to entertain, inform, and educate, you must be able to identify a particular niche.
Thank you.
And stay true to yourself regardless of the noise.
Thank you.
Because the noise will discourage you.
Perfectly
You
said.
need to be hungry.
Yes. Be ready.
Don't say anything
Sacrifice.
more. Yeah. Don't say anything more. You've hit the nail on the head. And Kwame, it happens everywhere.
Okay.
You know, in all fields. In all fields. You look at me.
Yeah.
I've been able to stay here at Joy FM for 25 years doing my music shows.
Yes.
Because I have identified a niche audience and I give them what they want.
Yes. And that's jazz.
If outsiders also happen to like and want to come in, no problem. And that's the way to go.
Exactly.
If you don't and you want to flip-flop, then you have an issue.
Yes, so Kwame, I mean, just to end it.
Yes, so let me give each of you 30 seconds to do the wrap up. And,
yes.
We have finished.
Okay,
so
Kobe.
So values. Just last week, I was with Food and Drugs Board. They said they want to promote tobacco and they need an influencer that has got that niche numbers.
Want to promote what?
Tobacco.
Like tobacco.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You said they want to produce.
No. Sorry.
Okay.
No smoking.
Campaign against
that.
Okay.
And I was contacted. Last year, I was invited to speak at the UN. There was a side event.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes.
I saw that.
Last 2 weeks, I just came from South Africa to speak on a mental health advocacy.
Great.
So once you identify that niche, don't let anybody deceive you that there's no money there.
Good.
And I want to hammer this because probably I'm not flashing my stuff out there. It does not necessarily mean that. And how do you even value success?
Great.
How value success is the impact
you make,
you give to society.
Yeah. Awesome.
So there's agric, there's transport, there's health. A lot of disciplines that the boys now can actually
I love that.
venture into it.
I love that.
The entertainment is good. However, you've completed nursing training college. You are home. Health. How many hospitals do you have in Ghana? How many diseases? How many doctors do you have? How many nurses? Content are available. So don't be deceived that you have to do the noise to be noticed.
Thank you very much. Nana Radio, yes, sir.
Yeah, Kwame, let me say big ups to Premier Care Hospital.
Awesome.
My people.
Yes, and the staff of Premier Care because they are listening and they sent me a message that hey, they are listening to me. So,
you know them?
Mr. Kofiba. Yeah, Mr. Kofiba is my godfather from the time.
Small world though.
Yes, Kofiba is my.
All right.
Oh, Mr. Bar. God bless you,
He's
Mr.
my
Kofiba.
biggest boss who I go to. Now, in wrapping up.
Yes, 20 seconds.
Education is key.
Yeah.
Education is not only about sitting in the classroom. The internet that people are using to do other things can be used positively to learn something to change society.
Great.
Take your time, learn, spend time. These days, AI is the best tool. If you want to read a book, tell AI to summarize the book for you and give you all the life impact it can give you, and it will teach you. Before you pick your phone to start any content creation, sit down and learn the space that you want to go in, and you can become the best.
Thank you very much. Great having you right here, Joe 99.7 FM. Thank you, Kobe Chain on AR Radio, Jeffrey Naughty, Uncle Ken. I trust you enjoy this one. Show brought to you by MTN Everywhere You Go, Superstar Multi-Fruit Drink. And the show was produced by Philip Nye, Anita Tay, Olivier Fagnan. My name is Kwame Dadzie. See you next week.